Hey, and welcome back to another video from thefanpub.com. I'm joined by Al and myself, Sean Connors, and we are going to be doing... What are we doing today,
Al? This time we're looking at each position, like QB, running back, wide receiver and tight end, and we're going to give you one that we're very happy if we get them at their ADP, and another one that's a massively big
a deep sleeper. That's a really good idea. Obviously, Al's a little bit tongue-tied. He's tired because he hasn't slept well because I've taken his bed, I've got his food, I've had everything. So he's now up for this video, aren't you? So why don't you kick it off then? So we start, quarterback first?
Yeah, quarterback. So
okay, so who's your... if you got them at that ADP, who do you like?
Well, he would have been Kirk Cousins, but he's just risen up the quarterback ranks. And actually, Derek Carr's fallen down to QB 12, so I'd be very happy getting him. That's pick 102. I'd be very happy getting Carr at that value.
That is extremely good value. I've gone a little bit higher on this list, which may sound odd, but my reasoning is sound, which is I like Marcus Mariota at 81. Now, I don't think I need to actually pick him at 81, because I think he'll drop, like a lot of those quarterbacks, like the one you've just mentioned, are actually dropping to that kind of ADP level anyway in drafts. Every draft I've done, mock or otherwise, has meant a lot of these pack quarterbacks, Mariota being one of them, Carr, even Kirk Cousins, the one you like, have often dropped lower than the ADP suggests because people have been crunching running backs and wide receivers first. So I'd be very happy because I don't think I have to pay the ADP price actually. So I would love to get him.
Okay, and who have you got as your sleeper quarterback?
I like Carson Wentz for this year, 132. I think he's going quarterback 20. I just think he has a great upside. The Eagles are a team in a division which we already agreed is very close. They've got wins, they can win games. Their fans are going to get right behind the kind of team setup they've got. There's a lot to be encouraged about if you're an Eagles fan for this season. I'm not saying that they're going to massively take a huge jump, but they've got a sneaky chance of a playoff chance if things fall right for them. And Wentz is definitely improving, so I love his value down there.
I could definitely see him as a second year taking a big step up.
I could see him at quarterback 12.
It's certainly possible. Mine is a really, really deep sleeper.
Yeah.
So only drafted in case of emergency, and that's Brian Hoyer.
I do like your reasoning. I mean, we all know how well he did in relief work last year. I think it was one of those quarterbacks who had 300 yards every time he played.
Yeah, he had more top 10 finishes than Eli Manning, people like that. You draft him 26, so you can wait till pick 207.
A really sneaky one in best ball and a sneaky one in a 2 QB league, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a Shanahan offense, and normally they're quite high scoring. But we'll see how San Francisco go. But they're definitely a work in progress.
I think the good thing about this guy as a journeyman quarterback is he's one of them guys. He seems very intelligent. He's very smart. He doesn't turn the ball over much, but when he does, it's a genuine one of them things.
Yeah, and it's normally a deep throw as well.
Yeah, I do like that. It's a great pick down there.
Okay, so looking at your running backs, who's your running back that you'd like?
Well, my favourite. You are starting to pay the price, but for some reason, because people are starting to fall off with love with him, he's dropping back a bit, which is Mike Gillespie at 54.
I've got him as well.
Yeah, I like that. 54 is good value down there, and the reason I still love him, I've got a love affair with this guy this year. I'm not going to deny it. I mean, I really do like him. I think the sneaky upside here. I mean, you know how much I liked him when I said, which was a huge surprise a few months back. Number 3 on my list about how high I am with these, players to target. I think he's got a great upside. Yeah, we know the risks. This is New England's offense. I get it. But he's taking over the LeGarrette Blount role, and I think this guy can easily return 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. And that's not even accounting for his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, which he's more than capable of doing. New England will find ways to use this guy, I have no doubt. And they paid him the money to use him, and they will use him.
Well, you'd have to send to me because I've gone for the same player.
So we're on that.
And my deep sleeper is Rex Burkhead. Because I think he's a perfect handcuff. Yeah. So if something goes wrong with Gillespie, Burkhead's going to feature a lot. So
you're saying
kind of covering yourself.
Collect the 2 and you're guaranteed a 1, which is absolutely.
Draft them both. One at 54, one at 1.
Sometimes it's
one at whenever you like at 173.
Yeah. I do like that. I mean, sometimes it's an interesting question of handcuffs, and you answer it really well here. Sometimes
I think with New England, you've always got that worry of Belichick where he can fall out with people like getting out of bed.
If in doubt, collect the 2, and then you'll have a 1 all year. At the very worst, you've got one of the strongest flex plays in the league, actually.
Yeah, James White will have a role, but I don't see him eating big time into...
Not these guys. No. These guys can do it all, so I agree with you. That's good. I went with Mr. Rob Kelly again, because at 91... I'm not turning down this guy's workload this year. I like him, particularly in Standard League, and I know this guy will give you an honest day's work. And at 91, he's slipping down, and his ADP's still going the other way. It's not going forward, it's going up. People still don't see the value in Rob Kelly, so I'm going to keep banging the drum. I think he's a very, very workable running back at 91, and he could well be your 4th or 5th.
Certainly
wrong
with the
there.
way Pirine started his Redskins
It's
career.
not looking too good. It's looking much better for Rob Kelly to have a very nice year ahead of him. And that offence is high scoring, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities in close. So I like his chances. And he can certainly get in.
certainly Cousins can move the ball at the field. So
he's very good.
okay, wide receivers. Now I've gone for a risky one, and he's not particularly a great value, but he's just someone I'd love to own.
Yeah.
Because I think he can return wide receiver 1 numbers, and that's Martavis Bryant.
Can't argue with your thought process. We both think that this is a guy out of all the other. I mean, when you look at the elite wide receivers, it's easy to talk about the Julio Jones, AJ Greens of this world. They're all obvious, but Martavis Bryant is the best of the rest, without a shadow of a doubt, and they're capable of a big high year.
And Brown's going to take a lot of coverage.
And I've already
you
predicted,
can't cover this guy.
I predicted a big year for him this year. So
how do you double cover Brown and leave Martavis?
well,
Bryant
normally the problem is the
and
beneficiary,
Lev Bell. I mean, there's so many weapons.
there's
there.
normally a beneficiary of someone's excellence. So if we talked about the Giants, we'd be saying OBJ, the beneficiary of Brandon Marshall, which is true. He will be the beneficiary of OBJ because if you double team him, Brandon Marshall is a big target over the middle. But Bryant offers something that Brown can't offer, and yet both are excellent. So the two of them together are great complements. And if Bryant is taking the top of the D off, Brown's working the underneath with his amazing route running and catching skills. What's not to like? If they make one mistake with the coverage, Bryant's off to the house.
Okay, so who have you got as your...
My number one is Eric Decker. Almost ironically enough, because I just think at that ADP at 89, I love the ADP value here. I just think he's so good.
we've talked about him before, but
we don't need to sell him. We know he's a great red zone guy. He will get a lot of touchdowns if he stays healthy. We know there is a health risk. But you know what? This could well be somebody's third or fourth wide receiver if you've gone a particular route. In my case, I went a route where I went running back heavy as he was my first wide receiver. I don't think that's bad sometimes to have a player like this as your first. I think he offers a lot of good upside and will surprise people at how well he could do there in a high octane offence. Never forget that.
You certainly don't have to sell Decker to me. Who would be your wide receiver sleeper?
No surprise, Kenny Galladay, 202. How can I turn him down now? I'm going to keep banging his drum all year long now. The game is up with Galladay. The game is up, so I'll grab him at any value I can down there as quickly as possible. If I can get close to that ADP, I'll take it. I think the trouble now will be to guess when the first person takes him, at what point of the ADP do they go.
It's going to be a lot higher than 202.
It's going to be a lot higher than 202. I wouldn't be surprised if people reach 2 or 3 rounds to grab him because they could see an upside that is currently not, is available for him to get.
This guy, my wide receiver deep sleeper, he's on my deep sleepers list, and that's Robbie Anderson.
And I do agree with him. Yeah, I like that.
Just because I said before, it's situational. They're going to be throwing a lot. They've lost to Newmoir. I don't trust Austin Severian Jenkins. You'll see a few people talking him up, but he's a guy I can't trust. He's had issues in the past. He might be all right. Robbie Anderson is the wide receiver 1. He will get lots of work.
Yeah.
If the sets are good enough to move the ball, then he will be a big beneficiary of that.
He could gain chunks of yards in games and the odd touchdown, and that makes him very relevant. It's a very good pick down there. You aren't going to find many wide receiver ones that deep down any draft.
Yeah, he's going to pick 164, so 63rd wide receiver.
Take that as you will, but sometimes you must. And
he's a wide receiver 1.
Got to take.
Admittedly on a poor team.
I like that. That's a very good pick. Okay, I'll go with the tight ends then first. Both mine are almost the same value, ironically enough. And the first one we've mentioned already is 215 Dwayne Allen. I love the value Dwayne Allen offers. I won't beat the drum too hard for this, but it's obvious, really. He's just such super value down there in the draft board. And, if anything happens to Gronk or you own Gronk, this is a sensible safety valve to own. And I'll mention my second one before you give your two because they're almost identical next to each other, but for different reasons. It's Charles Clay at 217. Buffalo have got no one else to throw the ball to. Surely there has to be a beneficiary of this. And at 217, Charles Clay must have an uptick now. I mean, I know he gets injured. I know he misses games. I know that there are some concerns. But when you're talking about...
in Buffalo?
But
Sammy the boot's gone. Jordan Matthews is
taken over the boot. Yeah.
He's injured.
He's got the gold boot. But Charles Clay, I mean, come on, 217. I mean, he must get an uptick. He's got to be packed tight end numbers. He must return reasonable value there at that value. And you might have not even that he could be your last pick of a draft in some draft formats as a tight end. You could have waited. There's such value on tight ends this year. I think that's the beautiful thing this year.
Okay, my tight end is Zach Ertz. He linked with your...
Is he 100?
He's 100, exactly, yeah. So he linked with your quarterback quite nicely. They seem to have a rapport, the two of them.
Yep.
Don't forget, Ertz missed quite a few games last year, so he might have been in the tight end Certainly in the top 4 if he played all year.
Well, I think he finished just outside the top 4, didn't he?
Exactly, and he missed 3 or 4 games with a spine neck injury.
To back up your viewpoint, and it's a very good one. I did give him a glance actually at 100. I was thinking, oh, maybe he's one to add. But what I do like is, as for exactly the reasons you've highlighted about the Eagles, but I think the chemistry's there, and that's the key word you've used, the chemistry. And he is, if you talk about tight ends who's capable of making the next leap to become, because last year 138 from Kelsey, got it right this time, thank God it's stuck now, was very good, but there was a lot of tight ends 15, 20 points beneath him. So really, in terms of eliteness, there wasn't anything really separating anybody.
I know, but
he is capable of taking that kind of Kelsey leap, isn't he? Ertz is capable of ending up.
And you're not paying the Kelsey price.
You're not paying that price for him. So if you were talking about a tight end that could deliver close to 140 fantasy points, you're getting him late in the draft. That's a very, very good one. My guys I've talked about will be lucky to get sort of 90 points.
Well, you say yours are in the 200s. My next one's ADP 346.
Hey, I'm more.
This is a deepest of deep sleepers.
Who's this?
This is Seth DeValve.
That's very. You've talked about him a couple of little whispers. Yeah,
he is of somebody who's going completely under the radar. He plays for a crap team. He plays for the Browns. From what I've been reading, he's ahead of Njoku as a starting tight end. He's a second year tight end. He's taken a step up in camp.
Nice.
He's been impressing a lot in camp apparently.
Because Njoku could be a real tight end blocker as a
I think they might. They're have to throw, so they might. Yeah, both of them might get work. I mean, at 3-4-6, I mean, you'd have to be in a really deep league to even look at him.
But you might, though, if you're looking for matchups. You know, there might be games where you think, Christ, they're going to have to throw all day. So you're looking at players like him.
I mean, if you're in a 20-team league like me and you drafted him the other day,
that was fascinating. That was.
Yeah, I did pick him in that.
Yeah, I did see that. I did take a little look at him after you picked with the. Who's he? And then I thought, oh, okay, that's quite sneaky.
So yeah, I mean, don't. I mean, unless you're in a deep league, I probably wouldn't even.
It's a deep league, but he could equally be a pack player tight end, and there's nothing wrong with that if he's your viral pick or a pick up off waivers.
And again, situation dictates that they're going to have to.
I think pre-season will tell us a little bit more about his chances to start, so that'd be interesting to see how he goes.
So he's someone to monitor. You know, maybe keep him on your radar.
Some interesting players there. Well done.
Okay, well,
as always, back to bed.
As always, if you want to. Smack the like button, we really appreciate that, and please consider subscribing. We've got a lot of videos. There's rookie flyers, there's all sorts of sleepers and deep sleepers and mock drafts. There's all sorts, everything you could possibly ever want. There's a video for it, so consider subscribing, and thanks very much for watching.
Thank you.